Hey gang, Hammerstill here. As you can see, I am in a Tier 10 match, and I am playing the Tier 8 North Carolina. Now, the North Carolina has, in my opinion, really good guns. They take a little while to get used to, but they're very good guns. And I got a chance to really kind of display that here a little bit during the course of this game. So many games in World of Warships, and you know, maybe it's just that I've played so many of them that I'm getting a little jaded. That is possible. But it does seem to me that there are more games that turn sideways and are just completely lopsided blowouts than there were a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 or 4. So when there's a really good game that's close, it comes down kind of to the wire. I love that. Oh, I forgot I did this. I hadn't played this ship in a long time, and this is one of the event camos that I won for North Carolina. Kind of cool that I did this. Actually, I did it for myself, but since this game ended up being one that I wanted to put up for everybody to see, everybody gets to take a look at it. It's pretty neat looking. So this turned out to be a really great game. It's the kind of game that I think most of us hope that we get to experience when we play this game. And so when it happens, it's worth talking about. You can see that we've got a Shima, Esther Gutland, and Lightning on our DD lineup, in addition to a Gearing, which is it's a fantastic destroyer. I've got all of those ships of the bunch on this map. With CVs in the game, I kind of like Gearing. It's got not great AA, who does anymore, but decent AA. On the enemy team, we've got Gearing, Holland. The AA on that thing is actually competitive. It's probably the only Tier 10 DD where that's actually true, at least in my opinion. They've also got a Gearing, an Esther Gutland, and a Lightning. So, pretty similar DD lineup, with the exception of the Shima and the Holland. In terms of aircraft carriers, well, Graf Zeppelin is kind of set up with AP. So what does that mean? It means part of what most DD players, for sure, and I think a lot of cruiser players and battleship players too, hope for is that the CV captain on your team will focus on destroyers early. But because the armament on the Graf Zeppelin is so AP focused, it can be really hard to do a lot of damage to it. It's not impossible. I saw Kurfürst was going to show me some side, and I just took a shot on the off chance that maybe he wasn't aware I was there. That's a disappointing start, but the game is still young. We're not quite 3 minutes in. Everybody's just getting into position. One of my favorite streamers talks about when he plays Battleship, he likes to say, stay centered. That's Flamo. If you've never checked out his Twitch stream or checked out his YouTube videos, I really recommend it. He's an excellent player, a super Unicum player, but he's a true student of the game. So while people can critique personality, it is very difficult to find fault with any of the information that he provides in this game. And I actually find him a very enjoyable person to sit with, whether I'm watching his videos or watching a live stream, which I don't get the chance to do as often as I would like, but there it is. Anyhow, he talks about staying center in his battleship so that he always has a target, and he's looking for broadsides. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to stay center, and I'm looking for broadsides. That's not perfectly broadside, but I think it will be in a few seconds. Just have to aim properly. And you see that I'm turning out now. Why? Because if he returns fire, I want to have his shells hit an angled ship rather than flat broadside, because that's what happens to you when you get hit with a US AP from a battleship with a flat broadside. Now, not only did his shot not really find its mark, he's firing AG. And he's going to continue to sail broadside and give me another opportunity here. Just cleared those. It shaved off the tops of some of those palm trees. And I was a little bit behind, so I didn't get the citadel that I was hoping for, but did manage to do a little bit more damage. And I'm going to get another chance here. As he is continuing to sail broadside. Now he's turning in, just going to make it a little bit tougher. So I'm just going to take a look around. What else is there? Wasn't a whole lot else for me to shoot at that was showing broadside like this guy. So I'm just going to stick with it. Now you'll notice that I zoom back a lot. Not always, because sometimes I can tell from the minimap whether there's anything for me to worry about. But I try to zoom back after I fire and get a wide look around, because I think getting in that habit is a really healthy habit for this game. Because sometimes you'll miss something on the minimap that you might see when you draw back. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, so scratch one, Massachusetts. The enemy team is now down to Massachusetts and Estrogetland. We're down to Lightning, and our gearing is in a really bad way. Now that Bismarck is nose in. Now these shells are really heavy, but trying to do a lot of damage to him at that angle would be tough. But Richelieu's broadside. And Hipper's going to be, and I just had to take that chance. I kind of wish now that I'd taken the shot on Richelieu. Chance to blap a cruiser was just too strong a temptation. And Richelieu is wisely reversing. Keep an eye on that guy. He played a great game. Now on the scoreboard, you'll see that we're up. We're up by 70 points. We're 6.5 minutes in, more or less. And now I've got planes to contend with. Fortunately for me, they decided to strike the Tirpitz. AA on the North Carolina, like most of the U.S. battleships, is pretty decent. Now I'm thinking about the need to reposition here. I really do not want to go outside, but I'm thinking I probably should think about it, because our Graf Zeppelin's out there all by himself, and I don't want him to get spotted by the DDs and have everybody on the enemy team firing at him. So I'm going to head that way. In the meantime, see if I can't get guns on somebody. Now, as it stands right now, we're down 3 ships. They're down only 2 ships. And we've got a Hipper and a Gearing that are basically one shot away from being sunk. I'm not currently visible, so I'm hoping to sneak a shot on the Richelieu, but he's a very canny guy, and he just went dark and I no longer have a shot, but maybe I can get... There he is. Our Estrogetland's out there all by himself, probably taking a beating. He's got 2 DDs chasing him, and the enemy CB. Yeah, I'm going to have to head this way, because Gearing, and down goes our Estrogetland. So now we're down 4 ships, and our Hipper and Gearing are one shot away from being sunk. And we're down 165 points. Yeah, 59,000 damage, that's not too good. You know, I'm doing what I can here, but that's not too good. So I'm hoping I might find that Salem out here where I can get guns on him. There he is. I've got to swing around here and try to put you on face with the torps.
The ship is on fire! Torpedoes to starboard!
Completely whiffed on us, and that is disappointing. That's right. There'll be other chances during the game. Let's get a terminal there. Let's see. Now I'm just angling up against the likely approach of torpedoes from those destroyers.
torpedoes, direct front. Problem solved, sir.
And yeah, he's trying to get me burning. He knows how to play that sail. Now Thunder is going to come out here and take a little bit of the pressure off me, which I really appreciate. Make sure I don't beach myself here. And meanwhile, I'm working on getting my guns around. You'll notice that I've left the fires burning. I've got 2 of them going, and I'm not crazy about the damage. But I can heal all that back up. Now, our entire team, pretty much, has moved this way. The exception is Venezia and the Bismarck, which didn't really have a chance to do that. But I think everybody recognized our GZ was in big trouble, our Graf Zeppelin. So we all moved out there to draw fire and give those destroyers something else to do besides chase him. Now you can see I've taken a lot of fire damage.
Water returning to ship.
But I'm content with that. I just need to stay angled. If I live long enough, I'll be able to use another heal. I've got a couple more in my pocket. So despite taking a lot of damage there, still got a lot of available hit points. And now I'm looking for broadside shots. We've lost half our team, they've lost 4, so we've lost half, they've lost a third. Richelieu, is he going to go ahead and move out here? I should probably angle accordingly. He's got a Bismarck and maybe Richelieu coming through this way. So I'm praying to the RNG gods right here. Targeted by 2. Gotta get my nose turned around. Well, I broke one of his turrets. Didn't do damage, but I broke one of his turrets. Permanently broke one of his turrets. And Richelieu's got 2 turrets. So he just lost half of his gun power. And I will admit, I was hoping I could do that again. Nope. Down goes our gearing. It really was just a matter of when he got seen. All I'm really doing here is keeping them from pushing real hard into the center of the cap circles. The North Carolina guns are no joke. And I've got another heal up. I'm not being HE spammed right this second. Oh, North Carolina. He's trying to get his nose around. Not quite enough. I always found new religion about it. Now I really need to get my nose to Amerso. Yeah. Trying to stay angled against where those destroyers were. Can't afford to go eating torpedoes right now. You saw the gearing there for a second. He's out there. Thought about switching targets and going for him, but didn't. He's pretty banged up.
Enemy battleship sunk.
We're down to a Venezia who's off doing his own thing and doing a fine job of it.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Myself, a Thunder, and a GZ who is not especially good against the ship itself, not necessarily the player. Not necessarily, who's not very good particularly against destroyers. And we've got still a gearing out there, but he doesn't have that many hit points. Now Salem has decided he's going to try and burn me down again. But I've got Thunder out there kind of running cover for me. And he really smacked that Salem. So there's the gearing. And I decide, well, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? I'm going to give it a few seconds and see if somebody will show me a little bit more. Now I got caught a little broadside there myself, but managed to survive it. How much damage can I do to the gearing here? I'm at 114, 819. 2500, so he's very low. And I'm thinking to myself, if I spot him now, I might be able to finish him with secondaries. That becomes important in a minute. You can see Richelieu, he's pushing up. Again, he's only got one turret. Now Bismarck, he's in a bad position. In my opinion, he probably should have just thrown it into reverse right there and let his destroyer do some work. But he kept pushing in. I didn't do anything there because he was just angled enough. I'm trying to keep the island between myself and the Richelieu, and also allow myself an escape against possible torpedoes by using the island. But I don't want to show broadside to the Bismarck, despite the fact that he's focused on the Thunderer. But I know right here, he's going down right here. And now I'm going to be the focus of the enemy's attack in earnest. So I'm going to turn this way because I want to make sure that I don't eat torpedoes. You can see Richelieu has a lot of hit points right now. So I've determined I'm going to do what I can to him, try and get secondaries on the destroyer. And our Thunderer goes down. So now I'm thinking, holy cow, I'm committed. I mean, I can't really not. If I try to turn around, his one turret is just going to have me at point blank range, broadside. So I've got to keep nose in, and just maybe I can take out his other gun. If I take out his other turret, which is why I aimed for it, and he's gone. So he can't shoot me, but I'm too close now. Too close now for him to have any chance of missing me. I'm trying to get secondaries on the gearing, but the Richelieu, he's going to take me out right here.
Ship destroyed.
So now we've got a Venezia, and good game, Richelieu, Captain. Really good game. So we've got our CV, they've got their CV. They have a Gearing who is really beat up, and we have a Venezia who's in pretty good shape, I mean, relatively speaking. You can see he's got over 20,000 hit points, and that Gearing's just got a few thousand. So our GZ is boldly heading in, and I recommend to the Graf Zeppelin that he just go ahead and turn toward the cap. Not only can he give, and he takes out the Gearing, good man. Not only can he give Venezia some AA cover, but and that's probably the primary thing, but he can also give that enemy CV captain something else to drop torps and bombs and everything else on. Maybe Venezia makes it through the game. You can see I'm not the only one. So right now we're down 55 points. We've got two ships, they've got one, but it looks like we're going to lock up the caps unless the enemy CV can continue to reset our Venezia. Yeah, when I was typing that out, he was kind of aimed toward the edge of that island there. I thought, holy cow, if he gets caught on an island, the complexion of this changes considerably. And poor Shikaku, he's doing all that he can. That Shikaku captain, you know, a tip of the hat to him as well. I think he got closer to save transit time, so that he would be able to make strikes more quickly. But he got spotted. Now, being who I am, I was thinking, shoot, just chase the Shikaku down. But our Venezia player did the smart thing. He just said, you know, I'm going to fall back. We've got the 2 cap circles to their 1. We've still got a minute and 15 seconds. We can ride this out to victory just with the clock. And all Venezia really has to do is stay alive, which you can see that I recognize there in 10 seconds or so after I typed out my first comment. And that's really all she wrote. This was a heck of a game. It was super fun. Really had a good time playing it. There just aren't enough that are this close. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you very much for joining me. At this point, I will just say thanks again, and I will see you next time.